Hi everyone, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video for you. This time I'm going to be using some papers from my stash, and this is the summer collection from Simple Stories. I really like this collection, and I had this idea while driving in my car for this layout. It's funny how sometimes things come to you. I've been wanting to do that kind of rainbow effect that everyone's doing. I think, you know, rainbow kind of ombre. I think rainbow has taken over from ombre as a trend. So I wanted to give it a try. I knew I had some photos from June that I hadn't scrapped. So I've just laid that paper pad there to the side, and I'm just using my Reese watercolours here just to kind of mimic that pattern down the side. There's nothing special about these watercolours at all. These were just kind of like the value student ones that you had, and I've had these probably over 10 years. It's a little bit scary. So I'm just building the colours up there on the sides, just using a big brush to do that, and I'm just kind of building the colour up in a couple of areas. And to be honest, I mean, I've got expensive watercolours, but these work just as well for this kind of thing. So I've just layered all that up, and I really like it, and then I decided to use that big brush to do some splatting as well. Not 100% sure where I was going when I was doing this, but I like it, and as always with my layouts, I end up covering most of this up anyway. So I'm just adding lots of splashes in sort of the main colours. And as I said, I really like that. The colours, you know, really nice. I'm just going to have to use my heat gun to dry this, of course, because it was rather wet. Okay, this was my idea that I had while in the car. I've been using this stamp quite a bit recently, because it's going to be featured in my uni album. Sorry, I completely had a brain freeze then. And I had an idea to stamp down or overstamp over the watercolouring to create this kind of border of this pencil stamp, and this is a stamp from Amy Tangerine. Trying to think, I think it's probably her second collection. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, her second collection. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was the sketchbook one, funny enough. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Anyway, it was from that set. I'm then taking out this set of stamps from Stamping Up, and I do show you the packet. I think it's called Gorgeous Grunge, I think is what it's called. And there's kind of lots of different ink spots and sort of misting bits, which I think is good, because I do like, doing it anyway, but this is kind of, you're more controlled, you know what you're going to get in here. So I'm just adding up kind of the messy background here. And I really like how it's all looking, and I'm just using the black Stamping Up ink to do all that stamping. And I really love that kind of mist stamp. It's a really nice stamp. And if you overstamp it and stamp it in lots of different ways, then it does look like mist anyway. Just got this piece of green cardstock, and I believe this did come in the Scraptastic kit, which also featured the Simple Stories papers. And I'm just mounting these two photos. The photos are, it's a photo of a drawing that me and my niece done we went to the pub for my sister's birthday, and we were sitting in the pub garden, and like on the kids menu you get like a place to do some drawings, and you get pencils and stuff like that. So we were sitting there and we done a drawing of us sitting in a beer garden. I hope my hair looked better that day than it did in that photo, and I do look a little bit butch, but it was a kind of cool, it was cool because I sort of drew it out, and you know, we were kind of drawing it, and then we both coloured it in. And then there's a photo of her with the final masterpiece. So I do have the original drawing still, but I know that like Becky Higgins talked about it in that Creative Live workshop and class thing she done, which was about, you know, sometimes you just photograph it and, you know, put the photographs in things rather than keep the actual thing, you know, and I'm quite cool with that as well. I do move around this paper quite a lot to decide which side, top or bottom. Sorry, just yawning there. Top, bottom or side where I'm going to put the pencil bit. I'm just cutting off little bits of the sides of the pads of paper. Just to cluster around the edge. I don't want to cluster too much because of course I've got all that stamping and that in the background. I am going to kind of fiddle around with this quite a bit. I realise that a lot of that stamping and inking is going to be covered up, so I am just over stamping in a couple of places. And that is the problem with this technique, you don't always know, but you can go back and add. I do lose a lot of the paint inking spots that I done. I then take out this line stamp and stamp that up. It's not my favourite part of the layout. Sorry, it froze there. What I was saying was that line stamp, which was also in that gorgeous grunge stamping up set. I stamped that out, but I didn't kind of do it straight. Not that anything like the pencils aren't straight or anything, but it does just distract it slightly. I did ink all my edges on this layout, with the black Stampin' Up ink, and I've just mounted that up on that green paper. So I flipped it back round, and I'm going to put my photo down to the bottom corner. And I really like how this looks. And I'm just going to move and stick around those bits of paper that I cut out. And I quite like, you know, just using these sort of small strips because you don't need to stick a whole piece of paper behind. You can just use even scraps and stuff like that for this. I've cut out that camera because I wanted to kind of include somewhere on it that kind of rainbow effect. I've already got the rainbow effect on the bits of paper that I've cut out, but I just wanted to make sure that was showing through. I've got the acetates that came in the Scraptastic kit. They were also from the Simple Stories collection, so I've just cut one of those in half and we'll be adding that on the layout. I've now pulled out the die cut pack, and again this came in the Scraptastic kit, and I'm just going through the die cuts and seeing which ones will work on this layout. There's quite a few in here that I'm not really sure how I'm going to use. I didn't actually go with any of the wood ones for this layout, and looking at it now, my niece is standing in front of a wooden fence, so actually it probably would have looked okay, but I didn't see that when I was doing this layout. And to be fair, all my stamping and everything in the back is done in black, so I'm kind of pretty fine with, you know, not having the wood grain on there. So inking all of these little elements up and just clustering together, they're putting like file tabs on. And I'm then adding a cluster to the bottom as well. I do like my 3 clusters, so I've just put a cluster to the side there as well, and I just cut one of the little kind of slide frames up. And I'm then going to place an arrow there, sort of pointing to where my niece is, holding the actual masterpiece that we created. and I really like, you know, again, it wasn't a particularly sunny day, even though we were sitting in the beer garden, but I like that I've then put the sun on the top, and, you know, it kind of all just goes with a kind of summery theme, and actually we had some, you know, good weather on those days, so it was nice to do it. And to be honest, I tend to think of summer as August here in the UK, and I think I've actually used up most of this summer collection now, so that'll be interesting. To be fair, I was thinking some of the darker wood grain that came in this kit, even though, I mean, not the ones I've got summer stuff and that written on it, but you could quite easily use that for autumn or even like Christmas layouts and stuff like that, so I'm not too worried if I keep it. And I'm not really worried if this part of my album this year is mainly this kind of paper as well, to be honest. So I'm just finishing layering these top bits up and sticking everything down. And I use my ATG for most of the die cuts, but some of the little fiddly bits I am just using my wet glue. And I really like that little arrow placement there. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing because my video is frozen. Oh, here we go. I'm just going through my thicker box, which is ridiculously overstuffed, and this is not even all of my thickers. Yes, I have a problem. I am on a mission to get them used up. Most of them are kind of half started, or I've had like the odd word out of them. So I'm on a mission to get those used up. I decide for my title to use a mixture of thickers, and the title for this layout is Van Gogh at the pub, or Van Gogh at the pub. I do pull out that turquoise for the van, but I do end up changing that because it isn't really sharp, it's a little bit too matchy-matchy. So I'm just looking through my thickers. I did want an @ sign, but I couldn't find one, so I do just use those yellow ones. I've used them quite a lot recently. I do like that font. And so I've just changed that van to the red foam ones. And again, I'm just looking for something there to add. So there's a little gap there, and there's a little green heart left in that die cut pack. So I'm just looking at the placement of my title. Excuse me, I'm yawning again. I'm just trying to sort of play around with that, and I do have a bit of a problem with where I'm going to put the van. I don't know if I want it above or over, to the side, on the same level. And I even played with it after I'd finished filming the layout as well. When I was looking to put the layout away, I was like, oh, I don't know. And I think I also added some enamel dots after I'd filmed as well. But you'll be able to see that in the photos. So I can't remember if I did because I don't have the layout in the room with me. So I'm just using my wet glue to stick the stickers down. Because some of them are quite old, and also because they're going over photos as well, I always like to just add a little bit of glue. And I really like the mixed font here. I'm just going to use my ink, my matte black, to just mist over it. And then that is it for the layout. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back with some more videos soon. Bye!